Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are answering a common question. How do you make a counter in N8N? For example, when we work in Python, we can implement a counter quickly and easily. In this case, we can see the counter equal to 0. The array contains different numbers 1 to 7. We need to read the array inside of a form. The counter is incremented by 1. The next step is print the counter and the right item. If the counter is equal to 5, we can see that the counter will be 0. So the result is the following. The counter 1 array 1, counter 2 array 2, so on and so forth. But when we reach the limit 5, the counter is equal to 5, the counter will be 0 in the Python code. So in this case, the counter will be reset by 1. Why? Because in this case, the first line inside of the for is the counter incremented by 1. The result is counter 1 arrayed is 6, counter 2 arrayed is 7. When we are working with thousands of items, processing data from API, or simply want to know how many emails were sent, we need a counter. But guess what? N8N doesn't have a simple native counter node. It is one of those things you have to build yourself. In this flow, we can see the counter initialize, counter increment, and the limit. And precisely for that reason, in this video, I'm going to show you the most efficient approach way to create a counter in N8 instead of a loop. It is a trick that will save you hours of headaches. But before we dive into the code, you want to keep mastering tools like N8N and make your life more no code. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any of these automatization tricks. The first node is a trigger that starts the full flows. In this case, we need to set a counter. The counter is equal to 0. Here is the counter name, number, and equal to 0. The next step in this case is to extract information from database. That for this example, I need to counter close to 200 items. After that, it's go to loop and review item by item. The next step is to increment the counter. Here is where the magic starts. We need to call the node counter equal 0 like node counter name.json, and inside of this is the variable. In this case, we need to increment +1. After that, we need to validate the limit. In this case, when the counter or the value inside of this variable is greater equal than 5, then goes to the counter and is to set the value 0. Here we need to see the full execution. Let's to see what happened in this case. I need to stop to see what is happening and review log by log. The first counter is the variable where it's initialized. It's 0. The next is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here the counter says that the limit is equal or greater than 5. The counter is 0 again. We need to see the next counter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again. The counter is reset to 0. Here, the first step is to define the first node. In this case, the node type is edit field set. The name node is counter equal 0. The name of the variable is counter, type is number, and the value is 0. The second node in this case is node type edit field set. The node name is counter plus plus, name is counter. The type is a string, but here, when we are calling the value, in this case, we are calling the node counter equal 0 JSON counter like a dictionary Python, +1. The third node is a node type if. In this case, the name is if counter, and the name, in this case, we are calling the main variable or the value inside of the counter equal O and counter. In this case, the type is number and the value is 5, that in this case is the limit. The last node in this case is reset the counter to O. Node type is edit field set. Name of the node is counter.o. Name is counter, type is number, and the value that we are calling is inside of counter equal O JSON counter, and in this case we are equal O. Here you have the formula to create a counter inside of N8N. Basically, we have created a dynamic counter that increments with every item we process. And there you have it, an efficient and professional counter in N8N. You can use the same logic to counter error, update items, or any other metric you need to report. If you enjoyed this trick and learned something new, give me a like and subscribe to the channel. That's all for today. Keep updating, keep automating, and see you in the next video.